And we're back. I'm really excited about this short segment because we get to share some times in our lives when someone came alongside us and just loved us where we were. And Abby, can you think of a story or a person or a time where you felt loved and supported exactly where you were in this?
Yeah, I was on staff at a church when I started my medication. And I just told them, like, I'm feeling dizzy and nauseous, but I think it might be working. And they were just like, we're so glad. You don't have to, we're glad you're trying and we'll be patient with you and you don't have to live like this, you know? And I think that the most helpful thing that you can do is say to someone like, hey, I see how hard you're trying. I see you and I see how hard you're trying. And if they sort of haven't started the journey on what will help them, like, you know, there could be a better way.
Oh,
I know.
You're trying. It's so affirming.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And for me, it was like, and you don't have to try so hard. Like, this doesn't all have to be on you. Like, you are trying. We see how hard you are trying. We would like for you to have an easier way.
Right? Oh, that's beautiful. I can think of a time where, so I had a situational thing happen. No biggie, just like a broken engagement or whatever. And I'm joking. It was brutal.
Okay.
So that's a situational thing that most people would be sad about, right? Even though it was the best thing. But of course, because I already had depression, I felt it to the umpteenth degree, to the point where, you know, like on my face, following my mom around, not wanting to be alone. And I had this friend, and she sent a card in the mail every day for 2 months. I'm not even kidding. Every day. And it was, you know, just one of those beautiful cards. And in some of them, she just signed her name. Sometimes she would say something, but it would, yeah, it was just a card.
Text messages?
Oh.
Like, if you just send a text that's like, I just want you to know I'm praying for you by name.
Beautiful. Right? And just praying for you, not praying you'll get better.
Right. I'm praying for you by name. Or like, I'm praying you would feel God's presence today.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And I know what helps with me is just being together sometimes, right? Understanding when I can't, but also when we be together, like watching a movie or doing something, so I don't just have to talk about it.
Right. Or even like, if you know that the person doesn't want to be alone, bring something to do, like not with them.
Yes.
Like bring a book.
Yeah.
And then you can just sit next to them on the couch and read your book. Like that really might be really helpful. Like I know for me, when I have anxiety, I needed someone to just sit next to me while I wrote.
Wow. Yeah. I like to be with people too, because I'm my thought, I get scared of my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I spend a lot of time I won't do it anymore, trying to figure out what is me and what is my bipolar and is this me? And you can't, like, I can't spend all this energy trying to separate it because it's so intertwined. And I think when I'm anxious, just being with another person, because then if I have an anxious thought, I can speak it out. And sometimes even just speaking out to a person, I'm like, that's absolutely not true. And I remember one of the most helpful things in Oh, my therapy. I love therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think I need a
Oh,
tune up. I'm going to go back soon.
everybody needs to go to therapy.
Yes.
Like everyone. Like
Yeah.
you should just go to it should just like a dental cleaning. You should just
Yes.
go to
Every 6
therapy.
months, tune up. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one of the things that she talked about is about being a detective. So she talked about if you take this thought and you brought it to a friend, would they think the same thing about that
Mm-hmm.
situation or whatever?
Yeah.
If a friend was telling
Mm-hmm.
you that thing,
What
would,
would you say to them?
yeah,
Yes. One of the most helpful things is when I was just really going after myself. I just was like, I'm not good enough. I'm terrible. And blah, 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 blah. And my sister stopped me cold and she said, I'm so sorry. I don't let anyone talk about my sister like that.
what?
And I was
Wow.
like, oh, okay. And you know what? I think that's real. If you would not let someone talk about your sister like that, then you cannot talk about you like that. It's the rule.
Yeah, it's totally real.
But it was very helpful for her to interrupt my cycle like that.
Yeah, because it's like a tape, right? Once you get it going and going and going. I know there are certain words my husband banned because when I get depressed during those 6 months, I get eating disorder-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And so he banned the word fat. And to this day, it's still, he wants it, like we have a scale, he hides it. I don't know where it is.
I love this.
Yeah, he hides it. I don't know where it is. I'm not supposed to go on it because I would obsessively. Oh, and you know what would be helpful? And I know it might seem silly, but honestly, if you could just not have your scale like out in your bathroom when you have people over,
Oh.
I think that would be helpful because honestly, I would jump on those things, every time because I wasn't supposed to, go on them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you have the ones with the like big numbers. Like if you know someone in your life is struggling,
Just put it in a different room.
put it away. It seems so simple, and then it would ruin my whole evening with my friends, and if I would have asked, how hard would it have been? Like, hey guys, you could just put that away because I kind of am hopping on it every 5 seconds. So that would be helpful. That would be.
Well, and what would it look like, right, for you to be a person who can just be like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no biggie, right? It'd be kind of like, if someone's sensitive to smell, you know how that's
Mm-hmm.
people ask now, right? We have a whole section in our church, and we try to be sensitive at events and stuff of people with smell, or like a gluten allergy. Could we just say, I struggle with that. Could you just help me with
Right.
that? Yeah. And one thing too is if someone's like crashed or it's really bad, I don't know about you because it just seems to be a thing that church ladies do or that we do is the bringing food. But I've talked to some of my friends and some of my friends that I've brought meals for that aren't in church culture or aren't used
Mm-hmm.
to that. You forget how powerful that is because this
Oh,
friend
yeah.
could not believe it. Like she could not believe that someone would do that for her. Like I remember I knew a friend was struggling, and I remember I made a different muffin because I knew she loved muffins
Mm-hmm.
every week for a month, and I would show up with these muffins to last a week, and she would just cry and just grab me. And we think that we need to do sometimes something big, right, to
Mm-mm.
help this person, and it's those things. It's the muffins and the cards and the texts just to know that there's other people out there in the world, thinking of you or care.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like a grand gesture,
Yeah.
but just like a, hey, I'm here. Or also just like what do you need? Yeah, I think food is really, really powerful. And I think that people don't understand about mental illness, that it is as exhausting as physical illness.
Oh,
So people are like, oh, well, she's depressed, but she can still make dinner. She can, but it's kind of like she's making dinner with like 80-pound weights on her ankles.
yeah. And she might need to go to bed right after.
It might be it. That might be the only thing she could do. So if you could make dinner, then she could read to her kids.
Yeah. 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 And sometimes I go ahead and do things anyways and I get caught in the trap of, if there's anything I can do, just let me know. You know what? I'm probably not going to let you know. I know. But if you know, like, I remember there was one week that I knew, you know, she's like, oh, it's okay. I could tell that she just didn't want to have an interaction, because sometimes that's exhausting. So I just left them there. Right? And I think too, like you said, it's the little things. It's those little everyday things that seem so overwhelming. You can help with that. Someone, after I had a baby, I think, and that was tough, right? You know, your hormones, and
oh my gosh,
you have. I think it was my husband's work or something. Somebody got me like a maid service, and
whoa,
I know, which seems like a crazy present. Like, it's so much funner to buy like a little onesie or whatever, but I still, to this day,
you're still talking about the maid service. So
my kid's like turning 13 here, right? So yeah, I think the biggest thing to remember is hashtag it's the little things.
The little things.
Hashtag muffins matter.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Yeah. So I hope that's helpful. That's our helpful way of telling you to be helpful.
Right.
Because we know that you love.
We know your heart's in the right place.
We do. We're not trying to, you know, trivialize. That word.
Yeah.
Yes, she's got it. You know, those things. It's just these things would be more helpful.
Yes.
Well, I hope that that you enjoyed our little talks of this new thing that we're trying to do. The next video, I'm going to ask Abby to pray for us and pray over all of sisters in mental illness, because, you know, we got to stick together and pray for each other. So I hope you watch the next video.